Alrighty, yo, it's time for me to make some mastering and show you how I do it. I'm gonna be showing y'all the hardware that I have right here. Alright, yo, so let's grill up real quick. So yeah, let's grill up and go. So, I haven't mastered for a couple of weeks now, so it feels like I need to crack my bones and see what I can do. Today, on my desk, we've got a mastering of a jungle, drum and bass, that kind of swag track of BASSLINE Junkie. It is called Frontline. I have a reference file that he wants me to match it to, and that reference file is real freaking loud, like about 4 to 5 LUFS, which is insane. But I think I can manage to do it, and currently it's like this. It starts with a graphic EQ where I make small adjustments that then goes into the exciter, and then from exciter it goes to a parametric EQ, and then it feeds transient designer and sustain designer, which is envelope Elysia. I meant Elysia envelope mastering edition. Then it follows into the SSL bus plus. What else I have is I have a converter. This is my digital tape type of thing. So it adds that tape saturation, a little bit of that noise, a little bit of those harmonics and stuff like that, blah, 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 blah. So, you know what I'm saying? It's calibrated to be around 18 dBFS, and I'm gonna use that in the chain as well. And the way it's connected right now, it's just sitting in my patch bay, and if I don't patch it up, it's not connected. The plugins, they don't quite work the same, so I can improve on the sound. I am 100% positive on that. I already have my reference file set up in my Pro Tools. It's decreased by 15 decibels to match my file, which I need to master, which is now sitting at negative 18 LUFS. I normally do A/B comparison through my hardware right here, and there's no way I can actually plug it for y'all to hear it, so it's only for me internally. I guess I'll just do the mastering and show you what steps I make. As well, for the copyright claims, I cannot show you the reference file, which is a commercial audio, so there's no point in me A/Bing to that file. What are we having here? So, all the mastering is done in a mid-side fashion, so this would be mid, side, mid, side, mid, side, mid, side, mid, side, all right? And then the converter right now also works in a mid-side fashion. Of course, I gain staged everything first so that I can compare to before and after. And I did a little bit of EQing separately on the mid and then on the side. And when you do the side, EQing will kind of like hug the mid from the sides, like exactly hug, because you know the signal in the center will be a little bit quieter, so it sits in the center, and then something on the side is a little bit louder, so the side is, you know, it hugs the signal around. What I did right here is, what did I do? Let's investigate. This is before the yellow one.
Lyrical warrior on the front line. Music soldier speaking to your mind. If you really wanna seek, you should find. Answers won't make you wise, so keep a rocking on down the line. Backers every day, all the while. Keep a fighting, struggling right. Can't stop, can't quit, we be rolling like rolling show. The obsession every day, on a mission every other day. We be on the plane, not for the paper and the fame. Just for the thrill of us, the lyrics every day. Riding the rhythm and you know we can't stop. Peaceful warrior, we're killing it on the truck.
So when you see me flip the mute here, it'll jump to whether it's the before, called pre-master, to a print, which is the master.
Musical murder, we done that. Be a fire from the mic, you know we just a chop. each and every other day. We on the plane, not for the paper or the fame, just for the thrill of us lyrics every day. Riding the rhythm and you know we can't stop. Peaceful warrior, we killing him on the truck. Musical murder, we done that. Be a fire upon the mic, you know we just a chat.
So if you're using good headphones, good audio interface, or good monitors, or all together, you will notice that the mix has more punch, it has more openness and all that good stuff. So let's just go through my settings because it takes a lot of time to actually, you know, adjust and check the parameters again. So let me just, you know, bypass these, that, and that. However, the converter will not be bypassed. Let's just say what the converter does here. The converter gets fed the mid and the side, and you can see the two lights over here. When the red light shines on the left channel, that would be the mid. That means that it's soft clipping, and there's a little bit of a kick that is not consistent. So the kick sometimes hits a little bit quieter and sometimes a little bit louder and sometimes the loudest. So I try to like shave off the excess, you know, the over the board peaking, and the converter follows the parametric EQ into the Elysia envelope, the transient designer. So the chain is going like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That's how it works. So let's just focus on the part. For instance, let's just do this one here. The computer's lagging a little bit because I'm recording with the camera. All that is done through software and stuff. So yeah, it's kind of like difficult for it to do. Although it works as a single body of, you know, processes all together. However, I mean, let's just go, you know, one by one and see what happens. All right, let me just flip back to the master version. Oh yeah, let me just mention one more thing. Because I've done a reference comparison, which is this track on the top, I had to compensate to kind of, you know, fit a little bit better to it because my mix was brighter, very easy to do with the exciter once you have it. I put a split EQ, which is in the tilt mode, and I just kind of like reduced the high frequencies toward the low frequencies to match the reference a little bit better and to, you know, stay at a kind of like a flat curve over here. Yeah, and because I'm using the split EQ over here, the initial source file will therefore be a little bit brighter as well, but like 0.6, so really negligible. So I'll solo the mid here and we'll start. So bringing some of that clarity up. I didn't touch the lowest lows, but the 63, which is actually very low, so it was increased a little bit. Yeah, and then some high mids and some highs and some sibilance over here was particularly bad at 8K, so I just brought it up from 8K, increase a little bit at 6.3. And then on the side channel, same thing. Let's listen bypass first, and then I'll unbypass like this. You can hear what it does. I think the most important flavor that was brought into this particular mix was the transient designer. So let me just solo the mid again, and I'll just go, you know, turning on and off this unit right here, which is fabulous and sounds very transparent and professional, you know what I mean? And then I added a little bit of excitement all together. And I did something in the parametric EQ, I don't know what it was, but here goes. Now let's move on to the side channel. We'll do the same thing, you know, bypassing everything. Okay, so moving on to the compressor, mid soloed. What I did again was I actually got rid of the overshoots of the kick. You can watch the arrow right here, and when it plays, you can see that some kicks were excessively, you know, jumping out. What it does, it's a very, very aggressive and very, very fast grabbing compressor, and it also has no side chaining, so it works from the lowest lows. It kind of grabs onto those excessive kicks because, you know, I need to increase the whole master to like 4 LUFS hopefully, and the only way you can do it is by actually grabbing and cutting and, you know, just biting into the signal. Therefore, that's what it does. And then on the side channel, I'm just, you know, grabbing some excess as well. And altogether, oh yeah, and I forgot to mention that there is some high frequency dynamic EQ and low frequency dynamic EQ. That's also, you know, working, you know, catching the excess. Something that's too much it's doing its reduction. Before I had the exciter and the parametric EQ, this wasn't enough to enrich the high frequencies. So the dynamic EQ in my SSL was actually adding some high frequencies. But right now, what it does, it reduces it the same way that somebody would use a high frequency compressor from SSL Fusion, for instance. So right now, this is doing that. As well, I could put it in the what is it? Expander mode, but I don't need it for this track. I'm just saying that the game that they put into this unit to unlock it has been won, even though you don't have to, but I won the game and I have that feature available to me right now. Let's now compare the before and after again, and I'll use this part of the beat here. Oh, my bad. Okay, so instantly what I can hear is the mastered version is a little bit louder. Just a little bit. Yeah, well, I mean, I can reduce it. I can reduce it, but like by like 1 decibel or something. Yeah, now it's comparable. So what I can tell is that my version, the print one, has more punch, has more snap, the transients. It's cleaner, clearer, has more air. And if we solo the sides and compare just the sides before and after, the initial version is thin. I like thick sides. I know it's a little bit of a problem. It also requires some space. It's harder to push the loudness, but I think it'll be fine. I just like to hear stuff how I like to hear it. The version before has a little bit more clarity, and I can just raise it back up again with the mix. Everything is set up so I can make little adjustments like that. It's now easy to do. I don't have to look for it. I don't have to search for the correct settings. I can do it with an EQ, with another EQ, but I'd rather not touch it. I can also do it, you know, several ways I can do it. Has more punch as well, like a snap. What we can also do is we can solo just the lows, for instance. You know, we'll solo this much and we'll compare. Okay, the sustain of the bass and the kick is like a singing quality, like the vowel in the voice. So the vowels of the bass is more prominent and steady in my version, in the mastered version. Although I can increase it by just a notch like that. And then, oh, actually, I think that would be too much. Maybe I'll just control that like that, you know, because I increased by one notch and I decreased the dynamic part of it by one. There's also a way to do a different type EQ, the E or the G type. And I don't know, maybe I'll just, you know, leave it until tomorrow, wake up and check if it's good or not and go from there. Okay, now the vocal sits a little bit closer to the listener. Yeah, it's not mushy, it's punchier. Tell me what you think about it. Let's move on. Instantly you can hear more punch. It increases the punch from like between the 600 and 1.2. So somewhere like 700 is the frequency, starting from it and above, like a high shelf EQ, but for the transients. Yup, more punch, more transients, and then here. It seems like little difference when I switch to mastered version, but when I switch back, it's a whole lot of a difference. And to my opinion, this is the best thing. When you turn it on, you can't hear the difference, but when you switch it back off, there's a lot of difference. So that's the way you should do it. So what I should do now is simply arm the tracks and print record. And I have 3 prints. The first one here would actually be the print of a left channel being the mid, the right channel would be the side, and then in the secondary track this would be combined, and in the third track this would be after the SSL bus plus, so that I can decide if I want to redo the SSL after this part of the chain. Ooh, it's very hot. Ooh, it's very hot, so I should actually give it some time to cool down. These motherfuckers are really, really, really hot. The SSL and the envelope, oh my God. Let's just print record and then I'll make a break and see what's up.
Lyrical warrior on the front line. Music soldier speaking to your mind. If you really wanna seek, you should find. Answers won't make you wise, so keep a rocking on down the line. Backers every day, all the while. Keep a fighting, struggling right. Can't stop, can't quit, we be rolling like road. Studio session every day, on a mission every other day. We be on the
Watch this here.
Not for the paper and the fame, just for the thrill of us, the lyrics every day. Riding the rhythm and you know we can't stop. Peaceful warrior, we killing it on the truck. Musical murder, we done that. Be a fire on the mic, you know we just a chop. Session every day, on a mission every other day. We be on the plane, not for the paper or the fame, just for the thrill of us, the lyrics every day. Riding the rhythm and you know we can't stop. Peaceful warrior, we killing it on the truck. Musical murder, we done that. Be a fire upon the mic, you know we just a chop.
So literally, I don't know how other people do it, but I try to do everything carefully, slowly, and I don't rush anywhere. And so it takes me around 2 hours to make mastering, because when I initially start, setting the parameters, I go like, 31 channels twice, so 62 tweakable parameters plus 3 plus 10, 28 other parameters, plus 10 more, then 8 more here, and then around 20 in the SSL bus plus additional modes. So all in all, I think it's more than 100 parameters altogether, and so it takes a lot of time to set them up correctly, and then to check against the reference file, so it takes a lot of time. I hope you liked the video. I'll do more mastering the next time around. I'll tweak something on the fly. This time I forgot to screen record, which is also the audio from the project itself, so I had to set things up, and if I do that, then it'll take me a much longer time and it'll be a very long video. Put your thumbs up and I'll know that you enjoyed it, and I'll do more. This concludes this video, mastering with me, Rob RYDA, on my YouTube channel in my studio, RYDA Records. Hence the name, Rob RYDA, RYDAREC.